I'm breaking out, I'm breaking in. I just can't help this state I'm in. I'm on my way, y'all. So put your shades on, this light's so bright, it's blinding. I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love. Breaking free, I'm breaking ground. I can't explain this thing I found. The clouds have moved on. I got my groove on. This pep in my steps infectious. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love. I've been stuck in a rut. I've been shit out of luck. I've been wondering what is up with me. And then I realized it's up to me to decide. I can just be radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love.
You are an irresistible magnet with the power to attract unto yourself everything you desire. You radiating love? I'm radiating love. I'm feeling it right now. Hi, good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the New Thought Spiritual Center Sunday celebration. I'm Reverend Jay Willick. I am the senior minister here at NTSC, and we're so happy that you have brought your consciousness together with ours to make a Sunday morning for the next hour-ish most fantastic. That's right, most fantastic. That's what we're all about. We're all about creating most fantastic moments, moment after moment after moment, so that it adds up to a most fulfilled life. What else is the New Thought Spiritual Center all about? I have a statement of principles video for you to watch. Just quickly watch this. You'll see what we are all about. Every month we highlight one of our statement of principles, and this month is no exception. We are starting our year off with this part of our statement of principles, the vision statement. And as you can see, it says, vibrate at the speed of the divine. And that's what we intend to do. That is our vision for not only our center, but for the world, to vibrate at the speed of the divine. Imagine that. Imagine just sitting there as your divine self and vibrating that ultimate intelligence, that ultimate creative power, that ultimate love all the time. You can do it. We can all do it when we choose, if we choose, as we choose. So that is our vision statement. You probably can't see, no, you can't see the little quote here in the bottom. You can see the first line, but I love this quote by Meister Eckhart. And he said, "The eye with which I see God is the same with which God sees me." We are all one. We are all one with the divine or God or spirit, whatever you want to call it. That is our highlighted vision statement for this month of January. And we have a theme for the month of January as well. And the theme is preparation. And as we have gone through the first few weeks of this month and for the next few weeks, we're talking about preparation, preparing ourselves for our greatness, which is already there, but many times we allow things to get in our way, so we need to make preparations. Also, every week we have a brand new affirmative incantation. Now, an affirmative incantation is very similar to an affirmation. They're a little longer. They're more sentence-like. Sometimes they're a little more poetic. Today's a little poetic in a way. And the idea of these affirmative incantations is something for you to use all week. Not just one every day, but all week to prepare yourself, to change your perspective on life. And that's what these affirmative incantations do. My suggestion is that as you wake up every day, that you pull this out from the various places you can find this affirmative incantation and read it. Maybe the first day or two, you might just read it. But what I suggest is that you take a little time with it. It doesn't take long, 2 minutes, 5 minutes at the most, to just sit with these ideas. And then also right before you go to sleep, please do that as well, because you want to have your mind working on that. You want to have that seeping into your subconscious, and doing it right before you go to sleep will help you in doing that. So the great Steve Apperson will pop up the affirmative incantation for this week, and I will read it to you. And as I said, you can find it in different places, and I'll describe that a little more after we go through it. So this week's affirmative incantation. My divinity is the flower, the foundation of my creations. My purpose is the eggs that provide structure to my beliefs. The fat I use is my imagination, which texturizes my vision. The heart provides the sweetness, the love backing this creation. Thoughts and feelings are the liquid that enhances, moistens, and rises my idea to the level of certainty, readying this mixture for the universal law to bake it just right. I am the baker mixing it all up for my experiences today, and whether it is chocolate, red velvet, funfetti, or banana, I shall have my cake and eat it too. Have your cake and eat it too. Every morning when you get up, every evening before you go to sleep, and I would love for you to contact me through the Rev J at newthoughtsc.org, or through the website, or through the various social media, which we'll show you in a second, and tell me how this goes for you. Now, this week it's a little more fun than other weeks, or a little more practical, and I love to hear what happens for you guys after using these for a few days, or maybe after the whole week, how your perspective on life changes. So right now I'm going to show you a little social media video so you can see where you can find not only our work on social media, but this affirmative incantation, so you can refer to it every day. Here you go. Um, After the service today and every Sunday, I go on TikTok and do the affirmative incantation. So that is definitely a place where you can find us at the New Thought Guy on TikTok. And of course, in the show notes here for the broadcast is also the affirmative incantation. I think it's one of these, one of the greatest tools, and it takes you far beyond the use of a one or two sentence affirmation, which I believe kind of gets lost a lot of times. Well, next we got some music, and we are going to go to Apperheny Hall, and I see Steve sitting down, putting his guitar in his lap, and he's ready to bring us a song by George Harrison, if you believe, from George's 1981 album. So, my friends from Apperheny Hall, the Steve.
You could worry your life away with not knowing what each new day can bring to you. You could take each day as it goes on, or wake up to the love that flows on around you. If you believe in you, everything you thought is possible. If you believe in me, all your love's reflected back to you when you believe. Too many troubles you can't control that get you falling into the holes they dig for you. Get up, you have all your needs, pray. Give up and it all recedes away from you. If you believe in you, everything you thought is possible when you believe. When you believe in me, all your love will come back to you when you believe.
Good morning. Let's know this truth together, that we are all capable, wonderful, amazing beings of light and of love. And let's take this start of this new year to know that we do have the power to create whatever it is that we want if we do believe, if we simply believe in ourselves and in that power that we have to manifest whatever our dreams are. So I know right here, right now, that I choose to believe in myself and in my fellow human beings, to know that this world is beautiful, that there are amazing things that are happening all around the globe, even as we speak. Instead of focusing on all the negative, I'm choosing to focus on the positive and focus on gratitude and focus on belief in myself and my powers. So let us just simply take a moment and understand that gratitude is an essential part of life and such a vital aspect of creating our dreams, whatever it is that we desire to manifest. So I simply release my word, knowing that it is done, that the law has taken it into its very capable divine hands and created our dreams for us, simply by our belief. So with great gratitude, I release my word, I let it go, and together we can say, and so it is.
If you believe in you, everything you thought is possible when you believe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ah, so great. Live from Apperheny Hall, the Appersons. What a great surprise. Caressa stepping in to do a spiritual mind treatment for us this morning. Thank you so much, you too. So great. Well, my talk title today, as you may have seen in the e-blast, etc., is What's Going On? Now, I put a question mark on it at the last minute before I sent out the e-blast on Friday. Originally, it didn't have a question mark. Originally, it was just like a statement. What is going on? As in what? The word what? What is going on? Now, the what I was talking about originally is the universe, more specifically, the mind of the universe that we all share, that we all individualize, that power, that presence within us that is attached to the infinite intelligence, which of course is available to all of us. It's out there, even to the animals and the minerals and the plant life in their own way. The Science of Mind book, which is where a lot of the teaching that we teach here comes from, as well as many other books, ancient wisdom and modern as well. The Science of Mind book states that we are surrounded by a mind or intelligence that knows everything, that the potential knowledge of all things exists in that mind, and that the abstract essence of beauty, truth, and wisdom coexist in the mind of the universe, and that we also exist in it and may draw from it through the channel of our own minds. So all this info, all this power, all this energy, it's just energy, is floating around, right? And it's represented in various peoples in various ways, and it's shared with us in various ways through some of these various peoples and through intuition and like I said, learning from others and even osmosis sometimes. So what's going on with each of us in our use of this intelligence? That's my big question. That's my big question for all of you out there, but it's for myself as well. What is going on with each of us in our use of this intelligence that is here, that is right now within us? Now, you might remember, and I mentioned this many times before, the universe doesn't care if you're famous, if you're some sort of social media influencer, if you're book smart or street smart, if you're born in poverty or wealth, live in a third world country, or up in a penthouse way up there in Manhattan. Because the universe is impersonal. It gives alike to all. It is no respecter of persons, and it values each alike. Its nature is to impart. Just to impart love, impart intelligence, impart healing, and ours is to receive it. That's it, to receive this power, this energy, this love, this divine intelligence, this healing. What's going on is love, love in its most pure form. And our job, as Emerson spoke about, is to get our bloated nothingness, our junk out of the way. Get them out of the way of the divine circuits. Because when they're in the way, when our ego's in the way, and I mean by ego when we are not communicating and communing with our divine selves, that ego, that gets in the way. That gets in the way of goodness coming into our lives. That gets in the way of our circuits firing properly to inform the law of cause and effect, what to bring into our lives, the good stuff. Our job is to get receptive to that infinite intelligence using spiritual practices, etc., etc., etc. Our job is to decide philosophically, decide as the perspective you have on all of life and all of your life, decide that this divine energy flows through us, is there for us, and that we are going to use it for our best life. So I want to ask you a second question. How do you answer when somebody said, what's going on? I say that sometimes instead of how are you, those usual chit-chat kind of polite greetings. I'll say, what's going on? So when somebody asks you that, do you immediately get into all the stupid stuff that's in your way? The pandemic, who's sick, who's having a hard time in life, things that are wrong or negative in your life or somebody else's life. Do you immediately go to that? Or do you start with words like, I'm fine? Which either means you're not good, you're lying, you're not fine, or you just don't want to talk about it at all. So that's kind of a, yeah, I'm fine, don't bother me kind of thing. Or because there's so much bad that you don't want to get into it. You feel there's so much negativity going on in your life that you say, I'm fine, just to shut people up for that reason. I had a boss once who wouldn't accept if I said I'm fine, even if I said that in a positive way. She wouldn't accept that. If she asked me how I was as I came into the office that day, if I didn't say, I'm fantastic, everything's great, or something of that ilk, she'd ask me again. At the very minimum, she wanted me to come in as if, even if something not so great had just happened. You could, she would tell me, you could say, I'm doing the best I can right now. That is the way, that is a focus on moving forward versus I'm fine. Because I'm fine or I'm okay. Those are finite negatives usually that leave little room for growth. And they put kind of a heavy weight, not only on your shoulders, but on your heart, your motivation, your future. When you say great or fabulous or some version of these things, you're not lying. What you're doing is projecting the infinite possibilities that are already available to you, projecting what you are declaring you're going to have, even if it doesn't feel like it's there right now. You're projecting your intent. You're projecting, most importantly, your instructions to the law of cause and effect, the law of correspondence, the law of attraction, whatever you want to call it. You're acting as that magnet that I talk about at the beginning of every Sunday celebration, that magnet to fabulous, to great, to fantastic, or whatever. Even, like I said, even if they aren't present at that particular moment, you are beginning to attract it. You are showing the universe, the law, your intention, your projection. That's what the universe does. That's what's going on. The universe acts on your projections, but only you can instruct it to do so. Only you can do the work in mind and, of course, in action to inform it to do what it does. What it does is put whatever things need to be put together to bring that experience into your life. But only you can decide what is a lie. What does a leave me alone? What is a projection of your future? Now, I know many times we just answer that question as if it's chit-chat, as it's polite chit-chat. The other person a lot of times doesn't really want to get into it with you, what's really going on in your life. They don't need a biography. It's just, part of friendly banter. But what's most important is the answer you give, the consciousness, the perspective of life you are projecting in the answer you give. That's what's going on. Again, I know a one-time answering with I'm fine isn't going to make a huge difference in your life experiences or in your consciousness. But how many times do you answer that way? Either verbally or mentally, or both. That's what adds up to a projection. That's what adds up to a declaration to the universe. That is what is telling the law what's going on. So what do you do about that? Well, of course, there's many tools, and we've talked about these many tools, spiritual practices, etc., etc. Spiritual mind treatment, like Caressa gave earlier, or an affirmative prayer, is an intentional statement unto this law. It is an active thing, embodying the conscious, concrete, and explicit idea of our desires. That's kind of the best way to put it. It's conscious. These ideas become concrete because of our faith, and explicit because of our specificity. And the unqualified faith, of course, that we have in this universal law and the principles that we talk about, that's there to work for us, through us, as us, with us, to manifest those desires, whatever they are. The reasons behind saying I'm fine or I'm okay adds up to a declaration or proclamation, and you have to decide whether that's what you want to be. Do you want to live a life of I'm fine? Is that what's going on? Or I'm okay? Is that what's going on? Because when you keep saying that over and over again, it becomes a treatment to the brain, and a treatment to the mind, and a treatment to the law, which listens to you, which responds to you, which manifests from you. As Ernest Holmes wrote, if we wish a certain good, we must instill into our own minds a realization of this specific good. And then, as the idea is the mold we place in mind, it will be filled by the substance necessary for the complete manifestation of this good in our lives. A different way to say what I just said a couple of minutes ago. Now, that good could be a thing, could be an idea we've decided to have in our lives, or to have in our perspective in our lives. It can come from many places. An ally could help bring it, like a therapist or a coach or a counselor or a friend, teacher, a book, maybe some other experience. There's no limit to what's going on except for the ones we put on them. Now, I don't care about the pandemic. I don't care about the cray-cray far right or the cray-cray far left. I don't care what your social position is in your life, what your physical condition is, or whatever. What I care about is how you think about it, how you answer what's going on. What's going on is what you decide is going on, because what's going on is your relationship with the divine in you. It's time to remind ourselves that we must perceive all the darkness and facts through the principle of light, perfection, wholeness, and completeness. That is living this teaching. That doesn't mean we ignore what's going on. It means we respond to it through the truth of knowing the possibilities, the infinite possibilities of this divine love and this divine intelligence. Now, I'm not telling you anything new. You're here to solidify, concretize your self-awareness as the God of your experience. Maybe some of you haven't heard this before. And if you haven't, welcome. Welcome to knowing the power that you have and the power that you are. But if you've heard this before, maybe this is the moment that you solidify it in the actions you take in mind and body. It's time to be vigilant. Self-awareness is just not enough. You got to be vigilant. You got to be vibrant. You got to be voracious in living this principle. Plato said, the part can never be well unless the whole is well. Well, the part is our experience. What we are doing with our mind is the whole. So when we are in a healthy connection and communion with the divine that is within ourselves, its love, its intelligence, its wisdom, and we are putting those ideas that power, that energy into our personal experience. Living the science of mind and spirit demands that we train our mind and our heart mind and our gut to perceive life beyond the facts, to perceive it through the deep interconnectedness of all things. There is an intelligence surrounding us and within us that awaits an imprint from our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs to bring into our experience that which we desire. And when the light grows brighter, the dark and the shadow might battle, but truth versus the imperfections of mankind, truth will bear out if you allow it. If you train your mind to see and live truth, even if the facts don't show it. I totally get it. I hear the news. I'm out there. I feel and sense the fear people are having again, and the tiredness, and oh my gosh, and the mask wearing, et cetera, et cetera. It's in the miasma of what seems to be becoming the norm of conflict and despair and the pandemic. If we within all that can sit in the truth and see behind the crap and see the truth. Like I said, it's not about ignoring what's out there. It's the rising above what's out there and using the condition as an opportunity to step up, to take action, to live, act, think, perceive, and be in truth, to decide for yourself what's going on. Not anybody else deciding for you, especially the news. You decide yourself what's going on. One day, two frogs were hopping in and out of a watering hole, and they accidentally hopped into an extremely deep hole. And they tried to leap out, but to no avail. So they began to yell and croak, as frogs do. And other frogs heard them and came to help. And the other frogs looked over into the hole, and said, we don't know what to do. The hole's too deep for us to help you. And they're waving their front legs as frogs do, and saying, sorry, you might as well just give up and die. There's no hope of getting you out of the hole. But both frogs there in the hole, they kept leaping and trying to get out of there. And they did this for hours and hours and hours. And eventually one of them just gave up. He was so exhausted. And he died. But the other frog in the hole, he kept trying and leaping. And the people up on top, they're yelling at him, just stop, try to enjoy, the time you have left. But finally, that frog in the hole, something came over him, and he leaped up so high that he was able to get to the edge and grab the edge and use his back legs to push himself up and out of the hole. And the other frogs, they were amazed that he could do that. And after he got out of the hole and caught his breath a little bit, the frog went around and thanked the other frogs for egging him on. The other frogs, what? Egging you on? No, we were telling you to stop and relax and just let go and let life pass and bless what you did have. What those other frogs didn't know was that one frog down there that got himself out was deaf. He didn't hear them telling him to stop. He interpreted all the waving at him as egging him on. Sometimes we have to turn a deaf ear to what others tell you is impossible or tell you what's going on. We have to turn away from that condition and respond with healthy choices, yes, but choices centered in truth. Whether what's going on is a question or a statement, remember what's going on. The answer to that is always God, the divine in you. That's what's going on. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Let us place our hands on our hearts and together declare our love offering blessing. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you for your blessed love offerings.
Yes, thank you again. We so appreciate that. And for those of you who gave love offerings in the year 2021, in the next couple of weeks, we will be sending you a letter informing you of the amount that you supported us last year, so you can use that for your taxes. We are a nonprofit organization registered in California, and you, to the full extent of the law, can use your contributions to the New Thoughts Spiritual Center as a donation on your taxes. Okie dokie. So you'll get that in the next couple of weeks or so. I want to thank you for joining. Joining us, of course, and thank Steve Apperson for bringing us that great George Harrison song, and of course Caressa McElhaney for her great treatment work. You'll see across the bottom some credits on where some of the graphics, etc., came for the videos that we put together, and we're starting to put together some new ones for 2022. So you'll see some new videos for you. We'll be back, of course, next Sunday at this time, and you can, of course, watch us live here or on the New Thought Spiritual Center Facebook page, or live on YouTube as well. And that's up there. Last week we had a little glitch with the song we ended our Sunday celebration on. I don't know what happened. Things happen sometimes. You push a button and it goes, and all of a sudden the internet decides, no, I don't want to play that. But we have a great song as well this week, and we'll bring that song back again another time. But we have a great song to end our Sunday celebration this week, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it before we get into a spiritual mind treatment and then into that final song. Marvin Gaye co-wrote with two other gentlemen our closing song over 50 years ago, but its message, its question, and dedication to love is as relevant as it was then. And as you listen to the lyrics, and many of you know this song, it's such a great song, will understand what he was talking about in 1971 when this song was recorded and published, and now 50 odd years later. So I want to play this song not only because of the title and what it's talking about, but in honor of our frontline medical workers. I know they are, I know they are working really hard, and all our frontline workers in all professions, but our medical people in the hospitals are working extra hard, and please be aware of that. If you happen to meet one on the street, please thank them for their dedication and their service. I know they're getting paid and all that kind of stuff, but they are working extra long hours, especially these past couple of years, and witnessing too much sadness and too much heartache, as well as some wonderful healing, which they are a part of. I also want to dedicate this song in celebration of the Martin Luther King holiday tomorrow. What more do you need to say about MLK Jr.'s work for our whole nation? Not just the African Americans, our whole nation, because what he talked about is the essence, the greatest essence of all religions and all philosophies, and that is love. So one of Motown's great songs, "What's Going On," will play in just a moment as we end our service, our gathering today. So let us now take a moment to close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. Usually pretty music might play in the background, but that's okay. Listen to what's going on around you. There's a plane flying over my house right now. Maybe there's children giggling outside your window, or sound of traffic for my friends who live more in an urban area. And as we breathe normally through our nose, let us exhale through our mouths and let that circulation of God is, I am continue. As we know in this moment, what's going on is God, is the divine. What's going on is the power and presence of divine intelligence and love shining brightly in each and every one of us. What's going on is all of us taking this light and shining it on every part of our lives. This year we are communing with our greatness. And as we start the preparations in the month of January, let us know and be reminded of who and what we are. We are the energy, the personified, individualized energy of the universe, of the Big Bang, of that power that created all and creates all. We are individualizing that right here and right now. That is who and what we are. And what's going on is we're using this power, this energy, to bring light into any darkness that might show up. We are focusing on this light, on this truth, on this who and what we are, to bring forth into our lives greatness, magnificence, prosperity, healing, health, love, kindness, and respect. The opportunities to show and share not only our greatness and magnificence, but our treasure, our tools, our lives, our talents. And we bring forth into our lives any allies to assist us in showing and being of service and sharing our talents and treasure and tools and love. That's what's going on. That is what is going on right now. And so I just stand here in gratitude and appreciation and thankful for the time, talent, and treasure that is being not only shown and shared, but is being brightened, enlightened, illuminated by the big what in the universe, the divine, the power and presence, God. And so I release this word in faith, in great faith, in concrete faith, knowing it to be delivered into each and every one of our lives. As together we say, and so it is. Hallelujah, amen, ashe, oh, shanti, shanti, shanti. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a most fabulous week, and we'll see you next Sunday. Namaste.
brother, brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Oh, Father, Father, we don't need to escalate.
War is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Oh, bigger lives and bigger sides. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Ooh, what's going on? What's going on?
Father, 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 everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, who are they to judge us just because our hair is long?
You know we've got to find